Is it working? Okay, I apologize. I was just trying to make sure it was working, but I think we're good to go. So let's get started. I'm so excited about these distress oxides. I apologize about the little bit of delay, but I'm ready to jump in and go ahead and get crafting. So just if you weren't here on Thursday or you missed the stream, well, last Sunday we created this card. We looked through the whole Bella Luna collection, and then on Thursday, we kept working and we made this as well as some milk cartons, which I did not think to bring over, but I'll grab them later or we can see them next time. But here's that card, which I still haven't finished, but it's upcoming. And then from that same collection, I did stamp and emboss this really cool crescent stamp, which I thought we could bring our new watercolor pencil into. I really love these watercolor pencils, but I have not been using them near enough. So we're gonna change that today because I am inspired by these Distress Oxide Scorched Timber colors. I'm excited to see them. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of skipped Tim Holtz explanation about all of the stamps. My bad. But oh well, let's give it a try. I was expecting a brown for this drop, so I was not surprised at all. This is darker than I thought it was going to be, but actually when looking at all of my other colors, the brown is something, a really dark brown is something we're definitely missing. So I do like that that really kind of blends into the family. I have no idea where I'm going to put it because if you want to see, let's go to my catalog. Oh no. Let's see, catalog. Oh, our our cameras are all messed up. So for right now, we'll just move on with just this camera. But I would show you, but all my browns are all together and they're out of space. So we'll see how that goes. But let's go ahead and just jump in and do some fun watercoloring. Now on this stamp, let me see if I can bring y'all down just a little bit. I apologize about the movement, but I want you guys to be nice and close. On this one, it stamped really well. The problem was there was a small area where it didn't, but I felt like that looked kind of old-fashioned-y, and this color worked out perfectly. So if I can open it, we're gonna go ahead. I hope that they do come out with more colors, more of the distressed watercolors in these watercolor pencils. I have heard that they're coming out with them, but they're coming out individually. I hope that they also come out in the tins because I don't want to buy them all individually, especially the first time. I do appreciate the coming individually after you've purchased them once. So, you know, as you use out certain colors, you don't have to buy the whole tin again. But seriously, buying each one individually is going to be a pain. So, actually, let's just go ahead and see what this looks like. Grab my brush. Oh, I do like how well these just blend out. Oh, that looks great. Nice brown. And what we might do is just give it an all over color so that we have kind of a backwash. I do like this as a very natural background. It does kind of add a lot. Even very toned down. This is a very mid-tone or tonal color. I'm using the word tone a lot, so I apologize. But it just doesn't have a very warm tone. It doesn't have a very cool tone. Somewhere in the middle. Maybe it leans a little bit more cool than it does warm. But a lot of the browns are warm that we already have, so this is a fun color. And it just lays down great. I think that there's always a little bit of a coating on those, so once you get through the coating, we'll just be able to blend it out and just jump right in. All right. There we go. Just adding some nice brown there, and that gold is really going to pop once we've added some more color down. This is looking very wild, wild west to me, which I like. As someone who lives in Oklahoma, have to have some appreciation for the westerns. There we go. Oh wow. Actually, I knew, like I said, I knew this was going to be a brown, which was not obviously never the most exciting color. Oh, I love those speckles. That's so fun. Um, but I am liking this color better than I thought I was going to. I knew I was going to like it, but I didn't think it was going to be the best thing in the world. But this is a beautiful brown. It's very soft, dark, and with the watercolor you can blend it out quite a bit. Let's just add a little bit more brown to the whole thing, then we'll let it dry just a little bit. There we go. Blend it out a little bit. Get that color all over and moving. Beautiful watercolor. Fun. Awesome. And then why don't we do some more of those splashes, splodges, because those actually looked really cool. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, the one thing I am really worried about is where I am going to store this, because all of my other ones are in tins, except for this one no longer has a home with all of its friends. Uh-oh. So, let's put that to the side. While we wait for this to dry a little bit, let's bring in something else fun to paint. Okay, while that dries, we're going to paint another one, the same stamp, all of it except for on black. Even the embossing powder is the same on both of them. It's this Wow Gold Pearl, which I do really like. On the black, it definitely reads more gold. On the white, you see more of that pearl. Then let's grab our Moonbeam watercolors, if we can open them. There we go. And these ones are supposed to be really good on black. I also have the Sunbeam ones, and for some reason they tout them as being more white cardstock cards, but let's go ahead and be wild and crazy and open them too. There we go. Now, I hope y'all are having a great day. Oh, I see we have a chat, but oh, thank you, Sky and Midnight. Happy you guys are here. Happy you guys are enjoying it. I hope y'all are also crafting or creating something awesome. If you are, let me know in the chat. Here we go. I'm feeling this real beautiful fuchsia. So let's grab that, and I have this a little bit out of frame, so I'll pull it closer for you. And this is just going to be a pain to get the right color so you can see that. And I apologize, but as I start painting the colors on, it'll come up better. Oh, you're kind of making something? Or is it kind of cool? Oh, you're figuring out what Moonlight's next project is. That's so exciting. I love to create. I have so many. I think that I have a lady who comes in and helps me clean every 2 weeks, because as I work full time, it's just hard to get that done, get the deep cleaning done. So she comes in. I think she thinks I'm crazy because I keep all of my toilet paper rolls. I just keep thinking there has to be something fun to do with those. And I've not figured out what it is, but hopefully some comes. Otherwise, I'm just a crazy lady hoarding all the toilet paper rolls. Oh my goodness, that is so crazy. Oh, but look at that pink. I love that. Okay, we'll let that dry just a little bit and maybe come in with a little bit more pink or some darker to add a little bit of shade. But even just as it is, it's looking great. Oh, some of this nebula, this purple color. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Let's do that. I need to use, I just need to use all my stuff more. I'm so excited to be doing these lives. Hi, Midnight. I see you. Let's see. Oh, that's such a cool name, too. I like that. Midnight. Very mysterious. Is it because you like to stay up till midnight? Or is it because you like midnight? Inquiring minds want to know. Let's grab some more purple. Oh, that just looks really cool. I hope that that's coming across, and of course it's probably not. I'll have to work on the color adjustments. I swear this whole room's lit up brighter than a firework, and you still cannot see it. So we might have to move something other than black cardstock. But we'll finish this one last couple things since I'm really enjoying it. I'll add some of this purple on what I think are little buds, and then we'll add some green. There we go. And this one's forest, so we'll grab this dark green. You do stay up till midnight sometimes. I am not surprised if that's your online name. Let's see. There we go. Nice, fun green. So, if you are thinking about new projects, do you have anything in mind? There we go. Let's paint that on. And our other one is just about dry, so we'll be able to move on or move back to that. Although I think really to make that love you pop, let's go ahead and add some yellow or pink. Pink. Let's add some pink over this love you so that people really know if they receive this that I love them. And there we go. I do need to send my sister a box with some clothes that I made her and she forgot to grab. Or I made myself, but I really don't like them on me. I just never have worn them. They're very nice. So I need to send them to her. I also bought her husband a new sweatshirt. Sorry, I completely blanked on that name. What is a sweatshirt? Um, and I embroidered everyone something for Christmas this year, and his turned out not great. And then when I ironed it, I think it kind of melted because apparently it was basically just polyester, and so I completely ruined it and I felt really bad. So I'm gonna make him a new one. Oh, you're brainstorming something other than drawing or painting. Huh, that's tough. There is a lot of drawing and painting. Maybe maybe the light will slightly adjust. And I'm going to heat this real quick, so give me just 1 second. I may go on mute so you don't have to hear that. Okay, we're back. Yes, send me my things. Okay, will do. It's on my list. I just need to embroider George's sweatshirt. So it'll be fun. I'm excited. I do have to embroider a couple of other items, so hopefully those will come out well. Now that we've got this nice, and I forget what the word for this is, underpainting? Yeah. Now that we've got the nice underpainting done, let's go ahead and grab some other Tim Holtz Distress colors. And I'm thinking reds and pinks kind of really go into that Western vibe. Maybe with some of this crushed olive green. Okay. Oh, this tattered rose is really speaking to me. So let's grab her and we can just start trying to pick up some of this color. Now you can color directly on the paper with these. The reason I don't, well, one is because if you start coloring over the embossing like we have here, you're going to rub off the embossing, so we don't want to do that. And then also, I find it just really easy to hold this in my hand and plop the color down. If you need to mix colors or anything like that, you can mix on your palette, or I have this glass mat, so that would work really well. But I'm just painting for fun, so easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's grab that. Yay, bottom layer. Yeah. Underpainting, bottom layer, whatever we call this. I do think it looks really good. And as we add more color in, it will really pop. And the best thing about the underlayer is it tones every color that you put on top of it kind of a similar color. So even when you're using different colors, they all end up working together. So let's call that good. And then let's grab another color. Maybe this crackling campfire. Well, if we're going to put a bottom layer, let's go ahead with this spice marmalade. And then we can add in some darker colors with the crackling campfire. It'll be nice orange red rose to go with our other rose we just painted. Tattered rose. Tattered rose, perfect. It's all coming together. I need to buy some cowboy boots. Really get into the spirit of Oklahoma. There we go. My dad just got himself some cowboy boots for Christmas. He was very excited. He was hoping I'd be able to embroider on them, but my machine does not handle embroidery like he was wanting. I have to have a different kind of machine for that. So hopefully he's able to either find someone who's able to do it or is okay one day with not being able to do it. Let's see. There we go. Grab some more olive. I do really like this olive color, but that could be because I have a fondness for olive oil. I don't know why, but that stuff is really good. And we'll just add some of that on. Since this is more distressed, distress inks, I'm just laying the color on quickly, not worrying about it being perfect, not worrying about it. Sometimes there's a time to be a perfectionist, and sometimes there's a time to have fun. At least that's what I tell myself when I start getting perfectionisty. I did hear one interesting thing someone said once, that perfection prohibits production. No, that can't be it. I don't know, man. It's way too late in the night to be thinking of profound things. And I just got that everywhere. But that's what nice cotton towel, paper towel will do for you. There we go. That is looking okay. We're going to trust the process here. And I'm going to heat dry this again real quick. And we'll add some more color. Here we go. Sometimes you just got to trust the process and hope that it all works out. Okay, that did most of the work. Coming back. Let's grab some of this crackling campfire. No, we're going to add some picked raspberry because we're going to work on the middle flower first. We're just going to paint in a little bit of the picked raspberry as some darker areas. So the first thing we're going to do is just pick up that color, darker color, and then come in maybe with the lighter colors. Maybe I need to grab that. Now, my eyes just may not be good enough, or I might be sitting too far away to get this in perfectly. The good thing about flowers is your eye just kind of takes any kind of blob and makes you think it's a flower. So we're going to hope and pray that that's what this does for everybody else. That went a little wild and crazy, but let's go ahead and grab this tattered rose back out and we will kind of blend that in. Although, maybe a little bit this wild honey in there too might be fun. This would be the nice thing about more colors is we could just get more different colors. Because I think there's 72 different colors in the Distress line, and it'd be nice to just have more different colors. Don't get me wrong, I do like color mixing. I enjoy that. But sometimes when I'm using the Distress watercolors, I just want to paint and not worry about color blending, anything like that. I just want to have fun. So having more colors allows me to do that more so. So that was just a tiny bit of wild honey, and I do think that added more. So let's go in and add a little bit more of this tattered rose to really make that color stand out, and we'll kind of blend the colors together as we go. I am liking that. I hope it's coming across okay. Hope that y'all are having a good night and doing fun stuff too, crafting, creating, or even just relaxing on the couch. In the US, it is a holiday tomorrow, so a lot of us get off. I'm very excited. I am off for the day. And actually, that didn't come out as bad as I thought. I do think I'm going to have to add some dark colors around the edges just to define it a little bit more. But once I do, that flower is about done. So let's come in with this crackling campfire, and let's go ahead and add some mustard seed as well. And we went in originally, I want to say maybe with the spiced marmalade. Yeah, I think that's what our original color was. So I'll grab that one as well. So this is the crackling campfire, a nice dusty red. That's what I'm kind of looking for here. A little bit more distressed colors. There we go. Getting some of that dark. And on this one, we're going to be a little bit more careful in where we're putting this, since it's more on the side as opposed to the center. Ah, having issues. Let's go there. Add a little bit more in. And my brush is just so watery, so we're going to take some of that off, come back in, grab some of the dark, and add the dark back in. Easy part about watercoloring. You make a mistake, you fix the mistake, and you move on. Don't have to worry about it forever. Here we go. Clean that off. Let's add a little bit of this yellow in. Get some highlights, some fun variations in the colors. Just so we're looking at happy things, or seeing happy things, or finding happy things to look at. I don't know. These are kind of a hot mess right now, but I think once we blend it, it should be okay. Hopefully not so ketchup mustardy. There we go. Finally, we're going to come back in with that spice marmalade, just to blend them together, get a little more fun. There we go. Oh, actually, even up here, it's already looking better. Also, sometimes you just got to let it dry before you judge yourself too harshly. And dab, dab, dab. Okay. You know what? I'm going to call those good too. I think once we add a little bit of dark around them, they will also liven up a little bit. Oh. And my rainbow-itis is setting in. Everything needs to be in rainbow order, or else what is the literal point? So now let's paint these. We need a darker color. Then we also could bring in this Twisted Citron, or actually let's go with Rustic Wilderness and maybe the Cracked Pistachio. Yeah, that looks fun. Okay, we'll add a little blue, give some life to these super fun leaves. Okay. Oh, here we go. And I have a feeling this is going to be way too much water, so I'll wipe that off. Got a few speckles, but that'll be okay. Add those in to individual leaves. Oh, that's fun and easy. Oh, thank you, Sky. I'm glad you're liking the colors. I really do think once we add the dark at the very end, it'll really just define more of what we're coloring, and it'll make everything pop. So, at least that's the goal. Grab just a little bit of this dark green, and then we'll add the blue, then we'll blend it all together. I'm hoping this turns out okay. There we go. Grab some of the blue. I forget what this one is. Cracked Pistachio. I have a funny story about cracked pistachio, but I'm not going to tell it because it makes some people kind of upset. Hopefully, add that cracked pistachio kind of on the ends. And I'll add a little bit more variety into these leaves and be a little bit more fun variations to the colors. Although the leaves are very small, so it's getting a little hard to get the color in there. But we did it. Okay. And we can put these two back since we're done with them. Let them dry out. That is the one thing with the watercolor, you want to let it dry. And we'll come back in with some of the crushed olive. I don't know if anybody else has been suffering through this horrible snowstorm, but here it has been kind of terrible, and I have not been very much enjoying it. I needed to go and do my driveway again. I did it once this morning, but I just couldn't talk myself into going outside and doing it again. I did not very much enjoy it. But I don't have anywhere to go or anything to do for the next couple days, so it should be fine. Especially since there shouldn't be any packages or anything coming tomorrow because of the holiday. There we go. Oh, I do really like that. That came out. Okay. And the very last thing we'll do is we're going to grab a smaller brush. We'll grab this lining brush. Come back in with our Scorched Timber, which is a fun name. I do like all of Tim Holtz fun names, but I do have trouble remembering them all. And we're just going to kind of let our brush slide along the edge of that embossing. And we're not worrying if we get everywhere. And I've just realized I've missed a whole petal, but we're just going to pretend this little rose is a little bit smaller than initially intended. Add some of that real dark to the edge. Get it nice and deep. And we can blend out the edges a little bit after. But we do want it real dark just to give it some definition. Here we go. Sometimes getting everything super perfect is important. Sometimes just getting it good enough is important. So today we're just going with good enough. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad you're liking the darker border. I am as well. I do think that definition really allows your eye to pick up the fun colors and texture. And we'll just blend that into the background and it'll look like a nice shadow. So, now I had planned on doing some blending and picking some different blends, but we're almost out of time, so we may do that next time. What I'll try and do is pick some colors, or maybe I'll do some test blends and then we can pick one of our favorite blends and make a fun card next time using that blend. There we go. Add some more dark colors around the edge. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now you could do a portion at a time. Add the dark and then blend it out. But this is my least favorite part, is getting this dark edge around. So that's why we're doing it first, is to get it done. I tend to like doing the things I like least first, so you get them over with. Move on. That's what I was doing while I was sewing. I'm sewing a winter coat, of course, during a blizzard, because why would you do it before? And I was working on this really fiddly part, which I don't really enjoy, and I messed it all up. But that's what you have to know when you're sewing, is it's all going to get messed up, and you just have to accept that. Once I made that decision that I was just going to know going into making any project that half of anything that can go wrong will go wrong. You're just going to have to unpick it and fix it and move on with your life. Maybe we can apply that to more things, but I don't have as many issues with paper crafting, but I do mess up. The good thing about paper crafting, though, is sometimes you can fix it, sometimes you can just throw it in the trash and not worry about it. It's just a bit harder when you have spent a lot of time and money on sewing something. Here we go. Final leaf, and we may add a little bit of dark under the love you, but that's something easy we can do. So let's add just a little bit of water and we'll blend this out. Hopefully get to looking good. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Add a little bit of color in there because we do want some blending out. And hopefully not pulling all the dark away from the edges after we just spent all that time putting it in. So that's why we'll come in and add additional water with some color, dark color. We can come around again, I guess, and blend out again. Easy. Okay. There we go. Add some more. Oh, there we go. So we just need to come in first with some water with the color on it, and then after come around the edges of that with some just water, and that really blends it. So that's good to know. You experiment, you learn. And with watercolor, we accept that it's going to look bad for a while. I think that's kind of part of life, though, maybe too. Just got to accept there's going to be a part of the process where it just doesn't look good. That's why I was saying trust the process earlier. That was more for me than anybody else. I don't know if anybody else does this, but sometimes you just accept. You just want to throw it away. There we go. And I do like this brush. It's a liner brush, so you can make really nice, thin, smooth lines. But it also helps in situations like this. And we get kind of more of an organic shadow that makes it look like there's different heights, different varieties, textures. That's just fun. Color that. Blend it out. And as it dries, it'll dry back just a little bit and look really awesome. There we go. What a fun thing to do on a nice snowy day. The only thing that would make this better is some nice hot tea. I did not have time to make any though before this. Maybe after I'll make some hot tea and work some more on my winter coat. It'll be very exciting once I get it done. Just in the I don't want to do this anymore stage. And a little more dark here. And pull it out here. And then we can go back in just a second and blend the edges out of these. We'll be about done. And this would be an easy card to finish up. Maybe do a border die, kind of a distressed border die. That would be fun. I might have to do that. Once it fully dries, I wouldn't want to die cut it until then. Now, we do need to kind of blend it in a few places, so we'll keep working on that. And pull it out a little bit more. Some of these areas. Let's switch back to our bigger brush now that we've gotten into some of those nooks and crannies, and we can finish this up quicker with the bigger brush and do a little bit more blending, have a little bit more control over the blending that we do. Now, when you're blending something darker into something lighter, you're always kind of taking away from the dark and adding it more to the light. So we don't want to get too close because we do really need that dark around the edge. So if we need to, we can always bring some deep color back and add more space for the shadow. So there we go. And that does make those pop. And once it dries, I will come over with a paper towel and just gently wipe it off, and all of the embossing will really come back up. But that's something you do once it's dry, not while we're in the middle of the wet process. Otherwise, we'll pull up a bunch of color we don't want to lose. Here we go. And we've taken a little too much away here. So let's add that back in. And come in and blend that out a little bit more. There we go. Now the last thing we need to do, because we really need to do this. Oh, that's not going to work. You have to blend it in further. Let's come in and add some more to this love you. But we don't want it to look too... Oh, I'm just putting dark here so you can see that. So we're going to make it a little bit wonky and not perfect. Blend that out. Do love how these blend out. You get a lot of variation of colors, and you can see they're kind of made up of different colors. Let's bring this cracked pistachio back in and add just a little bit of it to the background, because I think that's gonna really go well with this scorched timber. Yeah, look at that. Okay, just a little bit of it here and there to add some interest to the brown. Oh, I love that. Nice. Here we go. Okay. I'm thinking one more place, just so you get kind of 3 different areas of the blue. We'll just blend this in. Oh, that is so fun. Thanks for the hearts. I'm glad you guys are liking this too. I think that the blue, the teal kind of adds a lot to this. And then maybe what we can do is splatter some of the blue over too. Give a little bit more visual interest. There we go. Get that blue nice and going. And I think that's fun. Okay, awesome. Now this is done, except for, like I said, once it's fully dry, I'll come over and just wipe it with a dry paper towel, and that'll take the pigment off of the top of this embossing, and the embossing will really shine again the way you can see it does on some other cardstock without the paint. It's just the paint will coat the embossing. Once it's dry, you just wipe it right off and it'll come right back. And that will kind of how it will end up. Then very simple, easy to put this into a card format. I do think rather than simply gluing it, I will die cut out using a distressed frame and lay that into maybe some cardstock, either colored with the cracked pistachio teal or with some of the scorched timber. Either way, it's going to look awesome. I want to thank you all for joining me today. We're out of time, but reminder, I will be back on Thursday, so keep an eye out. I figured out exactly what my audio problems were, so hopefully we won't have that problem ever again. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining me live and for anyone who's watching the replay. I had a great time with y'all. I hope you guys had a good time and did some crafting or something fun yourselves. Have an awesome day and stay warm.